Ryan Carter sat in his office in the Earth Olympic Committee building, staring at the strange message on his screen. After 20 years as an athlete and 5 as a director, he thought he had seen it all. He was wrong. An invitation to the Galactic Olympics, he murmured, running a hand through his gray hair. This must be a joke. The door opened, and his assistant entered. Sir, there are some visitors here to see you. Before Ryan could respond, 3 beings entered his office. 2 were clearly guards, tall, with blue skin and 4 arms each. Among them was a slender figure with silver skin and large almond-shaped eyes. Director Carter, Silver Being said in perfect English, I am Ambassador Zixis Talek of the Vesperian Empire and representative of the Galactic Council. The invitation you received is genuine. Ryan slowly stood up. You are counting meters and Olympic Games for the entire galaxy, and Earth is invited. Precisely. Zix Talek said his species achieved faster than light travel last year. This is the minimum requirement for participation. The games take place every 50 years. You are lucky. The next competition starts in 6 months. News of the aliens spread quickly. Within days, crowds gathered outside the Olympic Committee headquarters as world leaders debated how to respond. Most agreed that humanity needed to participate. Lisa Donovan was eating lunch in the university laboratory when her phone rang. The physicist almost choked on her sandwich when she heard Ryan Carter's voice. Dr. Donovan, we need your expertise. Aliens provided equipment and rules for the Galactic Olympics. We need someone who understands both the scientific and sporting aspects. 3 days later, Lisa was in a large warehouse surrounded by strange devices. This is incredible, she said, examining what appeared to be a metal hoop floating in the air. This must be for the zero-gravity handball they mentioned. Ryan nodded. We have 6 months to prepare for games in which other species have competed for thousands of years. At least they're only letting us participate in 12 events instead of all 50, Lisa said. A little mercy, Ryan replied. We need to assemble our team immediately. The following week, they selected the best athletes on Earth. Amanda Wells, a pentathlon champion known for her adaptability, became team captain. John Martinez, who had Olympic medals and Navy SEAL training, was in charge of physical conditioning. Aliens provided simulation pods to practice events impossible to replicate on Earth. As the athletes tested the equipment, strange things began to happen. Amanda emerged from a simulation pod with a nosebleed. Something felt wrong there, she said, as if gravity kept changing more than the program anticipated. John's resistance training results suddenly decreased after using alien monitoring equipment. 3 other athletes developed mysterious rashes. Kyle Bennett, a former wrestler who also worked in cybersecurity, approached Ryan after hours. I found something, he whispered, showing Ryan his tablet. Encrypted transmissions being sent from our facilities to somewhere off the planet. Lisa confirmed her suspicions the next day. These alien devices are emitting radiation specifically tuned to human biology, she said. It's subtle, but it's affecting our athletes. They are sabotaging us before we even start, said Ryan. But why invite us only to make us fail? Lisa asked. Maybe to humiliate us, Kyle suggested. Show the galaxy that humans are not ready. Ryan looked at the training center where the athletes continue to work despite setbacks. So we need a new plan. We will continue to use your equipment in public, but we will develop our own methods in secret. The U.S. Intrepid was designated as our transport. Lisa said, we're leaving in 4 months. Ryan nodded. This gives us time. Let them think their tricks are working. When we get to the Galactic Olympics, they will learn something important about humans. What is that? Kyle asked. We don't give up easily, Ryan said, watching Amanda go through yet another training session. Despite her obvious discomfort. And we definitely don't like being fooled. The mountain air was cool at the training center in Colorado. Hidden among pine trees, the complex was once a military base. It now housed Earth's first Galactic Olympic team. Amanda Wells led 20 athletes through morning exercises. Her blonde hair was tied back tightly as she demonstrated a complex movement pattern. Again, she said firmly, zero-gravity events will test your spatial awareness. Your body needs to understand rotation without the help of inner ear signals. John Martinez watched from the sidelines, taking notes on a tablet. His dark eyes missed nothing. When an athlete showed signs of fatigue, John intervened. Pace yourself, Steve, he said calmly. This is a marathon, not a sprint. In a separate building, Lisa Donovan studied alien sports equipment. She had created a sealed room where she could safely examine the devices. I found another one, she told Kyle Bennett, who was sitting at a nearby computer. She pointed to a small device hidden inside what appeared to be an alien treadmill. This and its radiation that affects the centers of human balance. Kyle nodded, his fingers typing quickly. That makes 7 sabotaged pieces of equipment. I've been monitoring the transmissions. They are definitely sending data back to someone. Ryan Carter entered the room, his face showing signs of stress. Any progress with our secret training? He asked. Lisa smiled. Yes, I created clean versions of your equipment. No signals, no radiation. The team can use them in the underground facilities. And I set up dummy data to feed the alien monitoring systems, Kyle added. From what we know, our athletes are performing at about 60% of their true capabilities. Ryan looked relieved. Good. Verspirians check in daily. Ambassador Dezek Satalik seems very interested in our progress. Very interested, said Lisa. Outside, athletes began testing alien simulation capsules. The purpose of these pods was to prepare them for environments impossible to recreate on Earth. Amanda entered first. Inside the capsule, strange lights swirled around him. The ground disappeared, and Amanda found herself floating. It was supposed to be standard gravity training, but something felt wrong. Gravity became overwhelming, then almost zero in unpredictable patterns. Amanda forced herself to adapt, fighting the changing forces. When she emerged 30 minutes later, she was drenched in sweat, but smiling. Report, John asked, helping her sit up. They changed the program again. Amanda said calmly, making sure no alien observers were nearby. It was set for random fluctuations rather than the gradual changes listed in the specifications. John made a note, like yesterday. Steve, you're next, but remember what we practiced underground. That night at dinner, the team gathered in the cafeteria. The atmosphere was calm but determined. Ryan stood up to address them. I know the training is difficult, mainly due to equipment issues, but we are making progress. Thanks to Lisa and Kyle, we now understand what we are facing. Will we file a complaint with the Galactic Council? Asked Rebecca Palmer, a gymnast with remarkable balance. Ryan shook his head. Not yet. If we complain now, we will appear weak. They might even revoke our invitation. So we continued pretending that we didn't notice the sabotage. Dangle Wilson asked, his voice doubtful. For now, Ryan confirmed it, but we're not just victims here. Thanks to our secret training, we are ahead of schedule. When we get to the games, we will be ready. Lisa stepped forward with a holographic display. I have been studying the other competing species. Despite their advantages, they all have weaknesses. Verspirians have poor peripheral vision. Arcturians cannot process rapid environmental changes. And humans, Amanda asked. Lisa smiled. We are adaptable. While other species evolve to focus on specific environments, we are generalists. And there's something else they don't expect. What is that? Asked Joao. We know they are cheating, said Lisa. This gives us the advantage of preparation. They think we are going in blindly. Kyle raised his glass of water to surprise the galaxy. The team joined in the toast, determination replacing the doubt in his eyes. The intrepid USA gleamed in the morning sunlight as the Earth team embarked. At more than 500 meters long, the ship was humanity's newest ship, chosen to represent Earth in the Galactic Olympics. The elegant vessel had powerful engines that would take them to the Centauri system in just 2 weeks. Captain Samantha Wright greeted Ryan in the airlock. His uniform was impeccable and his posture perfect. Welcome aboard, Director Carter, she said, shaking his hand firmly. My ship and crew are at your service. Thanks, Captain, Ryan replied. I hope we don't cause too much trouble. Captain Wright smiled. My orders from Earth Command were very clear. Get there safely and make sure no one interferes with our team. The athletes settled into their quarters while the Intrepid departed orbit. Many had never been to space before, let alone faster-than-light travel. Amanda organized a tour of the ship to keep everyone busy during the first day. On the third day, the ship entered FTL space. Stars stretched in lines outside the observation ports. The alien observers, including 2 Verspirian officers, remained in their quarters, claiming that the effects of the FTL had disturbed their senses. With the aliens gone, the team gathered in the ship's main conference room. Now that we're far from Earth, we need to be extremely careful, Ryan told them. We suspect the ship may be bugged, so please continue to use our code words for private training. Lisa brought up holographic displays of various exotic species. I've been studying our competition. There will be more than 200 different types of games. Cal took a step forward. Although most of Earth's communication is limited during FTL travel, the aliens appear to have no problem sending messages. I detected several transmissions from the Vesperian neighborhoods. Can you decode them? Asked Joao. Cal shook his head. Not completely, but I learned words like human and preparedness several times. On the 5th day, something unexpected happened. The Intrepid received a transmission from another ship traveling to the games. Captain Wright invited Ryan to the bridge. It's a delegation from the Arcturian Alliance, she explained. They are requesting permission to travel with us and make formal contact. The Arcturian ship was smaller than the Intrepid, but more colorful, with swirling patterns on its hull. Soon, a delegation came aboard. The Arcturians had blue-green skin and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Unlike the V-formal and colder Sperians, they seemed genuinely friendly. We are pleased to meet our new galactic neighbors, said Krell, the Arcturian team leader. Like humans, we are relatively new to the galactic community. These are only our 3rd Olympic Games. During dinner with the Arcturians, Eric Morgan, the human communications expert, noticed how they behaved differently compared to the Vesperians. The Arcturians freely shared information about the games and other competitors. Be careful with the Vesperians. Krell told them quietly once the Vesperian officers were out of air range. They have dominated the games for centuries and do not accept new challengers. We noticed some irregularities in the training equipment provided. Lisa said carefully. Krell's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. Yes, this is their way. They did the same to us during our first few games. We finished last in almost every event. Why doesn't anyone report them? Amanda asked. The Vesperians control many trade routes and have allies among the judges. Another Arcturian explained that most lesser species cannot risk their anger. After the Arcturians left, the human team reconvened. At least we're not all one. Ryan said that the Arcturians could be valuable allies. Eric nodded. They offered to share their communication system with us. It's safer than ours. We should accept it, Cal suggested. I don't trust the Vesperians. At all now. As the Intrepid continued towards the Olympian planet, humans felt both concern and determination grow. The challenge was greater than they imagined. But now they had friends. We are no longer competing just for the Earth. Amanda told her teammates. We are defending fair play in the galaxy. Phobos 9 appeared through the observation window like a blue-green jewel against the darkness of space. The Olympian planet orbited a bright star in the Centauri system. As the Intrepid US approached, humans could see thousands of ships in orbit. Some were tiny, barely bigger than space shuttles. Others were enormous, dwarfing even the largest ship on Earth. There must be representatives from every corner of the galaxy, Ryan said, looking at the spectacle. The Intrepid received landing coordinates and descended through the atmosphere. Below them, a huge city spread across an entire continent. At its center was a cluster of enormous structures, the Olympic facilities. When they landed, the human team was greeted by a diverse group of alien officers. Some floated on anti-gravity platforms. Others moved on multiple legs. Some seemed to change shape as they moved. Welcome, Earth delegation, said a tall being, with purple skin and 3 arms. I am Jax Norvo, Chief Coordinator of the 527th Galactic Olympiad. Your quarters are prepared. The opening ceremony starts at 6 o'clock. The humans were escorted to their quarters, a large building with the Earth flag prominently displayed. Inside, they found comfortable rooms adapted to human needs. Not bad, said John, testing a bed. At least they got the gravity right. Ryan brought the team together for a final meeting before the ceremony. Remember, just being here is a victory. Don't be intimidated. Focus on your events and the training we provide. The opening ceremony was held in a stadium so vast that clouds formed near its dome. Humans had never seen so many different life forms in one place. The stands housed millions of spectators from across the galaxy. The Earth team marched near the end of the procession as some of the newest members of the galactic community. Amanda Carr, he was waving the Earth flag, his face beaming with pride despite his nervousness. And now we welcome the representatives of Sol 3, known to its inhabitants as Earth, announced a booming voice. Your species only recently achieved faster-than-light travel, making this your first Galactic Olympics. A mixture of curious murmurs and polite applause followed them. Some areas of the stadium showed more enthusiasm. Looking up, Amanda noticed a section full of blue-green Arcturians cheering loudly. The team was surprised to discover they had fans. Small groups of beings of the Paria species approached them after the ceremony, expressing good wishes. "We are the Proxima Coalition," explained a small fox-like alien, a newer species that believes in fair competition. "We have been observing Earth with interest." The first events began the next morning. Amanda was scheduled to do gymnastics in zero gravity, a combination of dance and acrobatics performed in a sphere with varying gravity fields. While getting ready, she noticed something wrong with her attire. The control panel that helped manage movement in zero gravity was blinking. "Calibration is disabled," Lisa said, looking him over quickly. "Someone messed with it." There was no time for a complete repair. "Can you make this work?" Amanda asked. Lisa adjusted some settings. "It's not perfect, but it should work. You will have to manually compensate for the drift." Amanda entered the sphere where judges from 7 different species watched. The first competitor, a graceful Vesperian, had just completed a flawless routine. When it was Amanda's turn, she immediately felt the suit fighting against her. "Your movements." The gravitational fields changed unpredictably, making your planned routine impossible. Instead of panicking, she adapted, using the erratic gravity to create new movements. His routine became less technical, but more creative than planned. When she finished, the scoreboard showed mixed results. Some judges gave him excellent marks, others barely surpassing the marks. She finished 4th out of 12 competitors. "That was incredible," Ryan told her later. "In these circumstances, 4th place is a victory." John next competed in the endurance race, a 30-kilometer route through environments with different atmospheres. Minutes before the race, he discovered that his oxygen levels in his respiratory system had been reduced. "Someone is playing dirty," he muttered, making quick adjustments. Despite the sabotage, John finished the race in 5th place, receiving respectful nods from competitors from older spacefaring nations. The human team was proving more resilient than the Vesperians had expected. Lisa Donovan's temporary laboratory within the Earth barracks was buzzing with activity. The screens displayed data from the first 2 days of competition. Kyle hunched over a computer, analyzing video recordings of various events. "Look at this," Lisa said, pointing to the scan of a Vesperian athlete. "Their muscle density changed during the event. This is not natural." Kyle nodded. "And here, in the mental projection race, the Vesperian competitor's brain activity shows patterns consistent with technological improvement. They had been collecting evidence of cheating since arriving on Phobos 9. What began as suspicion was becoming a certainty. The Vesperians were systematically breaking the rules. "We need to show this to Ryan," Lisa said. They found Ryan meeting with Michelle Garcia, the diplomatic attaché who had been building relationships with other species. His dark hair was pulled back tightly, and his expression was serious. "The Arcturians shared some interesting information," Michelle told them. "The Vesperians have been genetically modifying their athletes beyond what is allowed in the rulebook." Ryan sighed. "Added to our growing list of violations, the question is, what do we do about it?" "Make a formal complaint," Kyle suggested. Michelle shook her head. "Not yet. I spoke to delegates from 15 species. Many have tried to complain in the past. Everyone was fired. Worse still, those who complained often faced trade sanctions from Vesperians' allied worlds. So they get away with cheating because they are powerful," Lisa asked, her voice rising with frustration. "For now," Michelle responded. "But things are changing. Our presence provoked something. Other species are more vocal about injustice." Eric Morgan joined them, his compad in hand. "I have been monitoring conversations among the galactic media. The Earth is becoming a story. They are calling us underdogs who refuse to give up." Ryan walked around the room. "We need more evidence, and we need allies." "I have an idea," Kyle said. "Captain Wright can use the Intrepid sensors to collect data that cannot be tampered with. The ship's systems are more advanced than anything we've brought to the planet's surface." "Good idea," Ryan agreed. "In the meantime, we continue competing and building our case." The next day, Rebecca Palmer represented Earth in the gravity shift relay. Competitors had to run while gravity changed direction and intensity every few seconds. To everyone's surprise, Rebecca finished 3rd, winning Earth's first medal, a bronze. Humans have excellent vestibular systems. Lisa explained to the curious Arcturians who came to congratulate the team. Our inner ear quickly adapts to changes in orientation. The Vesperians were visibly upset. Ambassador Zix Talik approached Ryan after the event, his silver skin shining under the stadium lights. An unexpected result, said Zix Talik softly. Perhaps your species has hidden talents. Nothing hidden, Ryan replied. We are just adaptable. Zix Talik's big eyes narrowed. Eta compatibility only goes so far. Tomorrow's events require precision and experience that cannot exist. Improvised. The threat was veiled. That night, the human quarters were subjected to a power cut that lasted 3 hours. Environmental systems fluctuated, making sleep difficult. Despite his fatigue, Daniel Wilson competed in the tactical thinking competition the next day. The event required competitors to solve complex strategic problems under time pressure. The Vesperian competitor used traditional approaches taught in galactic academies for centuries. Daniel, however, fought differently. His unorthodox solutions confused not only his opponents, but also some of the judges. When the scores were tallied, Daniel came in second place. Earth now had a silver medal to add to Rebecca's bronze. Human success was attracting more attention. A small crowd gathered outside Earth's chambers, beings from dozens of worlds wanting to meet the expectation-defying newcomers. Michelle took the opportunity to strengthen alliances. We are gathering evidence of rule violations, she told trusted representatives from the Proxima Coalition. Are you willing to stay with us when the time comes? The fox-like alien nodded. For too long we have accepted the dominance of Vesperian. Perhaps it took Earth's new perspective to show us what we already knew. The system is corrupt. At the end of the first week of competition, the Vesperians were leading the medal count. But Earth's story was spreading through the Olympic village. The galaxy watched with growing interest. The second week of competition brought new challenges and unexpected discoveries. As the human team prepared for events, Lisa made an important observation. We are focusing on our disadvantages, she told the team during the morning meeting. But we also have natural advantages. She displayed a graph comparing human abilities to other species. Our resistance is exceptional. We sweat to cool off, which many species cannot do. Our hands are incredibly precise, and, most importantly, we can think creatively under pressure. Ryan nodded. Let's use these strengths. The Vesperians expect us to follow their rules and lose. Let's surprise them. That day, Steve Jackson competed in the multi-environment swimming event. The route passed through pools of different liquids, water, a methane compound, and a thick gel-like substance. Most species excelled in one environment, but struggled in others. The Vesperians used technical features hidden in their suits to help them breathe the 3 liquids. Steve, however, trained differently. Instead of relying on breathing equipment that could be tampered with, he practiced holding his breath for long periods. He went through each section, using different swimming techniques for each liquid. Competitor Vesperian finished first, but Steve came second, earning another silver medal for Earth. The judges spent more time scrutinizing his performance, looking for violations, but found none. Completely cool, Steve told the media afterward, smiling at nearby Vesperian employees. Just good old human lung capacity. News of Earth's unusual approaches spread throughout the Olympic village. Other species began asking humans for training advice. Some have even begun to adopt Earth techniques, focusing on adaptability rather than specialization. The Vesperians responded by increasing their interference. During the high-gravity weightlifting event, John's support suit mysteriously malfunctioned. Instead of giving up, he competed without it, earning respect even though he came in 6th place. On the Intrepid, Captain Wright used the ship's advanced stencils to collect data. She called Ryan to the ship that night. We confirmed what you suspected, she said, showing you detailed scans. The Vesperians are using banned substances that temporarily alter their biology during events. They also have microimplants that improve performance. This is solid evidence, Ryan said. But will it be enough? There's more, Samantha added. We detected communication patterns suggesting that the Vesperians influenced at least 4 judges. They are sending coded messages during events. This evidence has been added to your growing archive. Kyle encrypted everything, making copies for his Proxima Coalition allies. Meanwhile, the Vesperians were becoming increasingly hostile. Ambassador Zek Satalik called an emergency meeting of the Olympic Committee, claiming that humans were disrupting the traditional spirit of the games. Earth's participation was perhaps premature, he told the committee. Their behavior shows that they are not ready for galactic competition. Michelle attended the meeting as a representative of Earth. She spoke calmly but firmly in response. We came to compete fairly, she said. If adapting to challenges and looking for creative solutions goes against the spirit of games, perhaps the spirit needs to be reconsidered. His words resonated with many representatives of younger spacefaring nations. The Arcturians openly supported their position. Earth brought a new perspective, Krell said. We see no violations in your methods. The committee took no attitude, but tension was rising. The last days of competition would be crucial. That night, Amanda brought the team together. We proved we can compete, she said. But we need to do more than that. We need to win at least one gold medal to show that fair play can triumph over cheating. The team focused on the remaining events. The most promising was the Combined Skills Challenge, a multi-part competition that tests strength, reasoning, speed, and adaptability. Amanda would represent Earth. As she prepared herself, a young Arcturian approached her with a message. Take care. The Vesperians are planning something big for the final events. They cannot allow Earth to succeed. The warning was worrying, but Amanda felt prepared. Let them try their worst, she told Ryan. Humans perform best when the odds are stacked against us. The multi-environment obstacle course was the most prestigious event of the Galactic Olympics. Combined all the skills necessary for survival in different worlds. The stadium was packed with spectators of hundreds of species, all eager to watch the grand final competition before the closing ceremony. Kyle and Eric spent the night assembling special monitoring equipment with the help of their Arcturian allies. Hidden cameras would record every angle of the competition. If the Vesperians try anything today, we'll catch it, Kyle told Ryan. The course itself was impressive. It started with a water section, followed by a low-gravity climbing wall, and then a high-gravity running track. After that came a maze full of varying atmospheric conditions, and finally a puzzle section that required physical and mental skills. 8 competitors qualified for the final, including Amanda and Vesperian champion, Zinter. Zinter has won this event in the last 3 Olympics, and the Vesperians made sure everyone knew it. As the contestants prepare, listen to something unusual on Zinter. His silver skin had a strange glow, and his movements seemed strangely smooth. It's been enhanced beyond anything we've ever seen before, she whispered to Ryan. His muscle density is off the charts. The race has started. Amanda started well in the aquatic section, staying close to the leaders. When she reached the low-gravity wall, her training on the secretly modified equipment proved valuable. She climbed efficiently, moving into 3rd place. Zinner was first, moving with impossible speed through each section. The high-gravity track slowed most competitors down, but he didn't seem affected. Then something unexpected happened. When Zinter entered the atmospheric labyrinth, his movements became jerky. He tripped, pinning himself against a wall. For a moment, her silver skin rippled strangely, as if something underneath was changing. Your enhancements are defective, Lisa said, eyes wide. Amanda overtook another competitor, moving into 2nd place. She methodically navigated the maze, adjusting her breathing to each atmospheric chamber. The distance between her and Zinter closed. In the puzzle section, Zinter's advantage completely disappeared. He struggled to focus, his hands shaking as he tried to solve the first challenge. Amanda worked steadily, with a clear mind despite the physical effort. She passed Zinter, taking the lead. The crowd roared, many species cheering for the human underdog. Zinter tried even harder, trying to catch up. That's when disaster struck for Vesperian. In full view of the stadium, a section of Zinter's skin split open, revealing mechanical components underneath. A clear liquid gushed from the tear, and Zinter collapsed. The crowd was silent heat, and then erupted into shocking conversations. The officials ran to the fallen competitor, while Amanda finished the course, winning the race. Instead of celebrating, she went to check out Zinter. The medical team was already examining him, with grim expressions. Illegal biotech enhancements, an official announced. Complete body modification beyond anything allowed in the rulebook. The Zytalic ambassadors hurried to intervene, but it was too late. The evidence was clear and public. Screens spread throughout the stadium replayed the moment Zinter's improvements failed. Taking advantage of the confusion, Eric activated the plan. He connected to the Olympic network and transmitted the evidence collected over the past 2 weeks. Screens throughout the stadium began showing clips of Vesperian cheating. Hidden devices, influenced judges, sabotaged equipment. This has been happening for centuries. Eric's voice was announced on the system, not just for humans, but for all new species joining the games. The evidence was overwhelming. Representatives of dozens of species demanded action. The Galactic Olympic Committee called an emergency session right there at the stadium. Ryan and Michelle represented Earth, accompanied by leaders of the Arcturians and other members of the Proxima Coalition. "We came to compete fairly," Ryan told the committee. "Instead, we found a system designed to prevent new species from succeeding. This is not just about Earth. It's a question of the integrity of the games themselves." The committee chairman, a respected elder of a neutral species, looked worried. "These allegations are serious. We will conduct a full investigation immediately." Ambassador Zix's Halak stood, his silver face contorted with rage. "If this continues, the Vesperian Empire will withdraw from the games and impose sanctions on supporting worlds." His threat hung in the air. For many species, Vesperian trade was essential to survival. Michelle took a step forward, her voice firm. "Is this what the Galactic Olympics has become? A competition governed by threats and not fair play?" Silence filled the huge stadium as everyone awaited the Galactic Olympic Committee's decision. The emergency meeting lasted all night, with testimonies of dozens of types of trickery outside Vesperian over the centuries. When dawn came, the chairman of the committee stood before the gathered crowd. For 5,000 years, these games have celebrated the diversity and achievements of galactic civilization. The elderly alien said, his voice amplified throughout the stadium. "Today, we must recognize that we have failed to defend the true spirit of this celebration." The president announced a series of decisions. First, all Vesperian medals from the current games have been suspended pending a full investigation. Secondly, an independent board would be formed to examine past competitions. Third, and most significantly, the Olympic Committee itself would be restructured to include representatives of all participating species. Ambassador Ezekatalik stormed off with the Vesperian delegation. Several allied species followed, but far fewer than expected. The Vesperian threat of sanctions has lost its power now that his deception has been exposed. For the remaining 3 days of competition, events continued under new rules. Independent judges replaced those suspected of bias. Equipment was inspected by multiple species before each event. The atmosphere went from suspicion to genuine celebration. Without their advantages, Vesperian athletes who chose to continue competing performed poorly. Other species, including humans, have shown dramatic improvements. Amanda received her gold medal in an official ceremony, becoming the first human Olympic champion in galactic history. The Earth team added more than to the medals, another silver and 1 bronze, before the end of the games. At the closing ceremony, Ryan stood next to Michelle and Captain right as the committee chairman approached them. "We owe a debt of gratitude to Earth," said the alien. "Your perspective as newcomers has allowed you to see clearly what many of us have accepted for far too long." The president made a formal offer. Earth would be given a permanent seat on the new Galactic Olympic Committee, with Lisa Donovan named as the first representative. "We need your commitment to fair play and your ability to adapt to challenges," explained the president. "These are qualities that all species can learn from." As the Earth delegation prepared to return home, they found themselves surrounded by supporters from across the galaxy. The Arcturians presented us with a traditional friendship crystal. The fox-like aliens of the Proxima Coalition offered trade deals. Even species that initially looked down on humans were now approached with respect. Amanda found Krell, the leader of the Arcturian team, watching the Intrepid prepare for departure. "Will you compete in the next games?" she asked him. Krell's 4 eyes blinked happily. "Yes, and we will train differently now. Many of us are adopting earthly methods, focusing on adaptability rather than specialization. We will be ready for stronger competition," said Amanda with a smile. "And we will be ready for a fair game," Krell replied. With the Intrepid aborted, Ryan gathered the team for one last meeting before departure. "We came here expecting to lose," he said. "Instead, we changed the games themselves. Our medals matter less than the legacy we leave." Captain Wright added, Earth Command is already reporting an increase in diplomatic contact from the species we encounter here. We went from galactic newcomers to respected members of the community in just 3 weeks. As the Intrepid left orbit, news reports across the galaxy discussed Earth's effect on the Olympic Games. Videos of human athletes adapting to challenges and overcoming sabotage have become popular on thousands of worlds. Lisa looked up at the stars as they prepared for the jump to FTL. The Vesperians thought humans would be easy to defeat. She said they didn't understand what really makes us strong. What is that? Kyle asked. We expect things to be difficult, John replied. In the face of injustice, we do not give up. We find another way forward. The ship accelerated to FTL, taking home a team that had won much more than medals. They showed the galaxy something important about humanity. Faced with cheating and corruption, they stood up for justice instead of learning to cheat better. As Ryan wrote in his final report, we didn't just compete in the Galactic Olympics, we helped transform them. And in doing so, we show the galaxy the best that humanity has to offer.